shock and awe. And then I'm the bad guy for pointing it out.
Absolutely. And that is gynocentrism. Modern gynocentrism is you cannot speak ill of any woman.
Or even
Period.
question, why did you raise your prices after you were saved? That seems a bit odd.
It does, doesn't it, for somebody that's turned away from those ways?
Yeah, freaking A. So what you said you think that men can spot out red flags pretty easily in women.
If they'll own the responsibility to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Women's bullshit is so open and on display.
Okay.
You can't not see it if you're looking for it.
Okay.
I tell men all the time, you have to test women. See if she's even this vindictive. Just the tiniest amount of vindictiveness early on tells you that vindictiveness will be multiplied by 1,000,000 down the road once the infatuation's over and you're in a real relationship and it goes south. You're going to see vindictiveness out of that person. But men look at women and figure out, is she attracted to me or not? Mm-hmm. And if she is and I'm attracted to her, that's all I need to know. Mm-hmm. And then down the road, they're writing me or booking with me saying, I don't know what happened. Mm-hmm. It's a terrible problem, but you have to look. You have to look. How does she handle money? What's her debt like?
Debt, okay.
Yes. I want to know her credit score. Mm. I want to know how much debt she has. I want to know her spending habits, her interests. I want to know how she handles pressure. I want to know how she handles no. And here's the problem, as we've been discussing, gynocentrism means there is no no.
Right.
And so men have to actually rebel against all their life's programming to do one simple thing, to tell her no to something.
So how would a guy test early on for vindictiveness? Because one thing I hear from men is that after the marriage, after the kids, the women change.
And I think they do after kids,
mm-hmm.
some. But again, I never did buy the she was an angel. and then one day she was a demon spawn. Mm-hmm. I don't buy that. Mm-hmm. It's there. They didn't test her. They didn't push. Ask her or tell her no to something. If she wants to go see a movie, just say, no, I'm not into it tonight. And then you watch very carefully what she does. Does she get huffy about it? Can she handle a no? Can she handle a no to not spending money? Mm. Does she want something? I want a 3-carat diamond, whatever. Mm-hmm. No, that's not going to happen. Mm-hmm. What does she behave like then? She'll tell you who she is. Mm-hmm. She'll show you. Does she feed into the idea of a relationship where a guy's running around trying to make her happy all the time, like a trained seal, clapping his flippers, trying to get a piece of fish? Is that the setup she wants? Because if that's what she wants and that's what you're providing, there's two problems. There's her and there's you. Mm-hmm. But I just don't buy these guys that say, oh, she perfect, just everything. And then we got married and all of a sudden she was a different person.
Even though he's not a real man, if he doesn't pay for the date or like plan the date, it's like, well, is it that big of a deal? Like Starbucks, it's like $10. You know?
No, and gosh, I think there's enough even traditionalists left in me that I would spring for Starbucks or something like that. But once it's established that you're not just two ships passing in the night, mm-hmm. men need to sit down with women and have a talk about money, mm-hmm. how we're going to approach this. Because if it means you think I'm here to treat you like a 4-year-old and to take you to the candy store every day, that's not going to happen. Mm-hmm. And guys need to be able to say that. 99.9% of them never will.
No, well, that's one.
And then they say they don't know what happened. I'm not buying it.
Well, that's one thing I disagreed with Tradcons is the women working. They think women should just never work. And I
try that with 9% inflation. Sure.
Well, the reason I came to this conclusion was I saw 2 job postings. One was a fireman for $22 an hour, and one was it was like a diversity and inclusion officer for $22 an hour. And I thought, like, if you're as a family, one of you has to work, it would kind of make sense for her to. Because, I mean, what, he's going to risk his life every day, or you get to go sit in an air-conditioned office doing nothing for 8 hours? You can't do that. It's not like working at a farm 100 years ago.
Now, I mean, I think you make perfect sense.
Yeah.
How far would that go with the average woman?
Oh, no, they would get so mad.
It would end right then and there.
Yeah, well, and I think it's different if women, if we came to the table with at least youth and maybe 6 kids, like back in it would make sense for us to stay home, but it's like, we're offering 1 to 2 kids. They're in public school. We're getting married around 30. So why is there no compromise? It doesn't make sense to me.
And I think this goes back to Tradcon men really getting things confused. They want children, not women. They want somebody to take care of, and I think in their minds somebody they can control. They're put off by women who really are independent. I mean, every feminist is a strong, independent woman,
Right.
yeah, until the check arrives. But there are actually strong, independent women out there who make perfectly suitable partners for a guy that's screening out all the garbage. But I'm just, I don't buy that. Don't work.
Yeah.
This is not a world in which, one, financially, it's really hard, especially these days, to not have 2 salaries for most people. I mean, if the guy's making $1 million a month, it doesn't matter whether she works. But for the most part, it's needed. Only these guys, these Tradcons, are just holding on to something that disappeared like 40 years ago.
Yeah, well, and then they want you to get on their team, but they lost.
Yeah.
What have they preserved?
And those guys, guess what happens too? Another part of this that has to be considered. You take on somebody and you become their financial benefactor and you're taking care of their life. When the relationship ends and you end up in court, guess what the court sees? She's used to being provided for.
Alimony.
The very thing that they set up is exactly what the family courts are going to perpetuate. And of course, a lot of these idiots will tell you, well, if you're a real man, she won't go to family court. I mean, and I don't know what to do with that level of delusional thinking, except say, fine, just go ahead and do it, dude. Marry her, take care of her, and then when taking care of her is not enough, and the average woman will file for divorce at 7 or 8 years, which happens to magically coincide with guys' max income potential. Right when they're at peak salary, that's when the divorce is filed. You want to set that up? Go for it. I could use a business.
Well, and like even if you look at conservatives, like the older generation and the younger, half of them are still divorced. Like, I think it's mean the way they sell their religion as an anecdote and to like family court. I just think it's mean and it's not correct. Look at Steven Crowder. He had a very different tune like 10 years ago. And I like Crowder. Like I have a lot of empathy for what happened to him, but it's like 10 years ago.
I think what happened to him gave him a little bit of empathy too, because he ended up apologizing to the men's rights guys for the bad-mouthing them over the years. And sadly, this is what it takes. And with all respect, I like Crowder too, like his work. But look at it. Until it happened to him, he didn't give a damn.
Yeah.
And that's what I see in all of these Tradcons. Oh, it's not happening to me. It's not my problem. Most selfish, self-absorbed people. And this is why I think those guys are really more inclined to want the little traditional housewife that will take care of everything for them and doesn't think or talk too much.
It'd be fine if women could do that. It's like,
or if they would.
Yeah, they would. Like, what women are you guys meeting? I've interviewed 1,000. I can maybe count 2. Like 2 out of 1,000. Those are not good odds.
I went through 25 potential partners before I met my current. I had to reject. And a lot of them rejected me. It's the moment I said, you know, financially, you got to show up and carry your weight. They were done in that moment. Absolutely done. And that's okay, because I finally, because I wouldn't settle for anything less, I kept doing that until a woman said, well, yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, okay, we can talk more.
Yeah.
But these guys don't want that. That's fine by me. But the age of needing a woman in the home to raise a child or to raise
Mm-hmm.
2 kids, 1.5 kids, whatever, that's just not even thoughtful.